The gravity of the case against Lucy Letby, a former neonatal nurse whose acts had shattered the foundation of confidence among the medical community, was reflected in the tension-filled atmosphere of the courtroom, which buzzed with anticipation like a firecracker. As the proceedings of the trial progressed, a complicated tapestry of facts, human feelings, and societal issues became apparent. This video dives even deeper into the tense courtroom scenes, the spine-chilling account of the crime, the painstaking investigative procedure, and the far-reaching repercussions of the trial. Lucy Letby, a former neonatal nurse and the main defendant in a high-profile trial, had her past and her personal life, including her family, brought into the public eye over the course of the proceedings. She was born in 1991 and spent her childhood in the United Kingdom. She went on to pursue a profession as a nurse and finally became a neonatal nurse specialist. The fact that her childhood, schooling, and the dynamics within her family have been the focus of inquiry and speculation has added another level of difficulty to the case.
She used that normality and the trust that she obtained through that as a cover for the crimes that she committed.
At the Countess of Chester Hospital, managers did not properly investigate how 13 babies had died unexpectedly in a single year, even though doctors had raised concerns.
The case against Lucy Letby was handled with a level of journalistic confidentiality for victims and witnesses that is almost seldom seen in court procedures that are not related to problems of national security. Due to limits on reporting, the media was not able to identify any of the 9 doctors and nurses who worked alongside Letby on the newborn ward at the Countess of Chester Hospital. They also were not able to name any of the 17 babies who were involved in the charges against Letby. A court named Mrs. Justice Stein issued an order that prohibited the release of any information that could lead to the identify of the sole live children until those children turned 18 years old. This order was issued 2 years before the trial commenced. These youngsters had either a 2015 or 2016 birthday, which placed their current ages between 6 and 8 years old. The prosecution maintained that Letby's conduct were partially to blame for the serious infirmities that were being lived with by some of the victims. The decision additionally forbade the release of any information, such as the surnings of the deceased infants, that would lead to the identification of the parents as witnesses in the proceedings. This included the surnings of the newborns who had passed away. A judge is not permitted, under normal circumstances, to block the publication of the names of children who have passed away. This is how the general public found out about the child murder victims James Bulger, Arthur Labinjo Hughes, and Victoria Klimbia, amongst a great number of other victims. This was due to the fact that the children had been found in siblings. There was 1 set of triplets and 3 sets of identical twins among the total of 17 newborns. Due to the sensitivity of the ongoing legal issue, precise data about her family and history may not be publicly available or widely recognized. However, it is crucial to highlight that her family and upbringing could have influenced her decisions, motivations, and actions as a medical professional. The trial and the ensuing coverage in the media have spurred questions regarding the possible causes that might have contributed to the claims that have been made against her. As the proceedings of the trial progress, it is possible that more details regarding Lucy Letby's family and past will emerge as a result of testimony given in court, coverage in the media, or documents produced by the court. As the prosecution and defense debated the charges brought against Letby in the courtroom, there was a tangible sense of tension in the air. Letby, whose life was in jeopardy, was forced to confront witnesses whose statements unraveled the terrifying events they had been through. The jurors listened attentively as the legal teams broke down each piece of evidence in an effort to assemble together a story that would reveal the reality behind the charges. The drama that took place in the courtroom shed light on the complexities of the legal processes, the forensic investigations, and the ethical conundrums that were associated with the case. The circumstances surrounding the alleged criminal act include that Letby was responsible for a number of infant deaths that occurred while they were in her care. The facts portrayed a terrible image of trust that had been betrayed, as a nurse who should have been a guardian of life was reportedly turned into an agent of death. The specifics painted a chilling picture of trust that had been betrayed. The distressing pattern of these episodes prompted disconcerting concerns about her motivations and conduct, which ignited a maelstrom of inquiry and debate regarding the narrow line that separates professional obligation from evil intent. These incidents took place over a period of time. The inquiry into Letby's conduct was a laborious procedure that required a multidisciplinary approach that linked the fields of health, law enforcement, and legal competence. This was necessary in order to uncover the truth about what had happened. The inquiry relied heavily on careful interviews, autopsy reports, and medical records as the primary sources of evidence. Untangling the intricate web of intent, however, proved to be a difficult task. The case brought to light the challenges involved in determining the reasons behind medical errors and negligence, as well as the requirement of specific knowledge to successfully navigate such instances. Implications for the larger community outside of the confines of the courtroom. The trial of Lucy Letby served as a sobering reminder of the myriad of ethical conundrums that plague the field of medicine. It sparked discussions about the safety of patients, the accountability of medical professionals, and the safeguards that are in place to avoid wrongdoing. Institutions have been compelled to reassess the systems that they have in place for monitoring, and measures have been taken to ensure that medical personnel will be held accountable for their conduct. The trial shed emphasis on the obligation of society to protect its most vulnerable people and prompted inquiries into whether or not healthcare systems were doing enough to ensure the safety of these individuals. In the end, the trial serves as a sobering reminder that the search for truth and justice requires one to cross hazardous waters. Yet, the outcome of the trial is expected to perhaps shed light on a route towards deeper comprehension and the protection of those who are in need. If you want to know more, get subscribed to our channel and press the bell icon for latest videos.